Hearings like this are the way for a process to have some constructive dialogue. I know that I have been visited by both Secretary Perry and Secretary Zinke as they have walked through some of this, and I'm certain that many of my colleagues have as well. But when we're talking about changes as are proposed, I think it is important that there be good, fulsome discussion and an opportunity to put some things out on the record. Mr. McNamee, you have indicated that specifically when it comes to, for instance, ARPA-E, that you certainly intend to follow the authority and the appropriating laws of Congress on that. And I guess I just want to send a very clear message that as the chairman of not only the authorizing side, but also the appropriating side, I want you to hear a very clear message from me that I think ARPA-E is important. It's not only important to this country, but I think it's important to the world as we look to how our technologies and the advancements that we're able to make through R&D are able to really make a difference at a host of different levels. So I certainly hope you carry that message back. I want to bring up the issue that you raised very briefly in your initial comments, and this is in reference to Section 3111 of the Senate-passed NDAA bill, which would strip the Secretary of his authority over the National Security, the National Nuclear Security Administration. As you know, Senator Cantwell and I had filed an amendment along with Senator Cruz to strike this out. There was a statement of administration policy that came out denouncing that. So I appreciate your comment here this morning. Can you just share very briefly what it would mean for the department if that section were to be adopted, if we're not successful in getting that stricken?
Yes, and thank you for the question. Once again, I want to reiterate how appreciative we are, both of you and Ranking Member Cantwell, for taking leadership on this. As you know, that Section 3111 would strip the ability of the Secretary of Energy, who has the ultimate responsibility for helping manage the nuclear enterprise and the nuclear weapon enterprise of this country, from actually having the control over certain aspects of its management. And that is something that he would still continue to have the obligation, the responsibility for it, but not the controls for it. And I think that there's general agreement that in our structure of government, ensuring that it's something as important as our nuclear capabilities, that somebody at a cabinet level should be accountable to the American people, to the President, and to you, and the members of Congress, in making decisions about how to manage that enterprise. So without elaborating too much farther, I think that it is important for our structure of government for that sort of accountability to remain, and that's why we believe that the Section 3111 should be removed.
Appreciate that, and we'll keep working with you on it. Ms. Combs, you had mentioned the listening sessions, the consultation with tribes as this process moves forward, and I know that you've got listening sessions coming up in Alaska, and I know that many are looking forward to being part of that. I've been visited in the past couple weeks from representatives from many tribes that have expressed concern because they just don't know what this may or may not mean for them. And in the conversation that we have had with the Secretary, he's made it clear that this will be determined by the tribes as to how they want to participate. When I mention that to those who come to visit me, they say, well, what exactly does that mean? And I know that there is much to be fleshed out with this, and with the consultation, we'll perhaps learn a little bit more. But can you speak to what exactly is going on with the level of consultation with the tribes, and perhaps define a little bit more what implementation this opting in may look like?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Murkowski. The Secretary is very mindful of the sovereignty of the tribes and very mindful that this is a government-to-government relationship, and so the initial phase of consultation is underway. And There have been 4 already held, 3 more scheduled, and 3 additional ones will be scheduled, which will mean that there will have been in every region that the tribes are in, there will be a consultation.
Which is very important. I've heard that some are saying we haven't seen it in our region yet, so ensuring that that is in place is important.
And those will all be completed by the end of August. That is basically stage 1 of the consultation process. After the input from the consultation is received, there will be an analysis of whether the tribes, the consensus is achieved to opt in or whether they would like not to participate. Then a second round of consultation.
Will a consensus be required of all tribes?
No,
Okay.
consensus. Consensus is more or less. And so what I have been told is that then if the tribes decide they would like to opt in, there will be a second round of consultation with BIA. What does that mean? What exactly would it mean? How would you like to work with the other bureaus? If the decision is the reverse, that they would like not to participate, then BIA will hold additional consultations to decide how best BIA can represent the tribes with their other bureaus in the process as we go forward.